views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. After mounting concerns about its future with the force, an update on what's happening with former CID Chief Michael Johnson. The National Security Minister says crimes down, but murders up 13%. And Prime Minister Davis accused of flip-flopping on the National Intelligence Bill. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, September 26th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll be talking about the International Men's Day Men and Boys March and Rally set for Sunday. And later in business, we're talking with Easy Car Sales about their EV City Homecoming. They'll give us all the details about that and more. A lot to talk with them about. That's straight ahead. But first, it's time for the Overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, while Prime Minister Philip Davis called some provisions of the National Crime Intelligence Agency bill unconstitutional and dangerous when he was in opposition in 2019 and promised to repeal sections of the bill if elected, he said yesterday that he won't force his personal views on the public. Parliamentarians yesterday debated an amendment to the act. But opposition leader Michael Pintard calling the Prime Minister hypocritical, given that he was opposed to the original bill passed in 2019. In 2019, Davis raised concerns about several provisions, namely that the minister with responsibility for national security may give directions to the director of the National Crime Intelligence Agency. He also took issue with the fact that the only face of the agency is the director, and that every other employee is prohibited from disclosing that they work for the NIA. Pintard, the Marco City MP, pointed to Davis's position in 2019 and questioned why the 2024 amendment bill did not address those concerns. In response, the Prime Minister said, quote, "My contribution was during the passing of a bill which now has been passed and is now law. The amendments today do not change much. It just ensures that we are in the position to make sure the bill is effective. It's not about what is constitutional or unconstitutional, not now. There are a lot of bills that have been passed in this House that I had differing views on. Why should I impose my view on the country?" Also from the House yesterday, while crime overall is down 6%, murders are up 13% so far this year, according to Minister of National Security Wayne Monroe. Monroe said attempted murder down 19%, armed robberies are down 26%, and there's a 13% decrease in offenses against the person. The figures cover the period of January 1st through September 15th of this year. He said every single number is still too high. He was speaking during the debate on the National Crime Intelligence Agency Amendment Bill. Meanwhile, St. Barnabas MP Shannon Cartwright, in his contribution, saying the Davis administration has failed to move with urgency on the fight against crime. There were 72 murders recorded this time last year. So far, it appears that it's 88. Last week, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez said, though the country is safe, the fear of crime is very high in many communities. Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, who is on garden leave pending an investigation into voice notes, has been transferred to police headquarters to the office of the commissioner. We are being told now that this is just a formality. Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings confirming this yesterday. An internal police document which was shared on social media shows that Johnson was transferred in July. Skippings says some people incorrectly interpreted that to mean that Johnson returned to duty. She said Johnson remains on leave and has been transferred back to headquarters as a standard procedure. She says Johnson will remain on leave until the conclusion of the investigation. Johnson, who was the officer in charge of the Criminal Investigations Department, went on leave in July after the explosive audio recordings were leaked on social media, allegedly between a senior police officer and a now deceased gang member who was wanted by police. One of the conversations detailed the wanted man trying to negotiate the circumstances of turning himself into police and the cost to secure his release from custody. The F&M's Women's Association calling the 9-year sentence given to a convicted rapist as part of a plea deal a, quote, grave miscarriage of justice. In a statement issued a day after 22-year-old Joel Strawn was sentenced, the association said the punishment not only undermines the gravity of the crimes, but also sends the message that violent acts against women will not be met with the full force of the law. The association saying, quote, the victims of these heinous acts deserve to see their offender held fully accountable for the harm inflicted upon them. This sentence diminishes the suffering they endured, trivializes their trauma, and erodes public confidence in the justice system's ability to protect women from violent offenders. This decision fails to reflect the seriousness of repeated violence against women, which requires not only a strong judicial response, but also societal recognition that such acts cannot and will not be tolerated. Coroner Cara Turnquest DeVoe ordering 11 policemen whom jurors found unlawfully killed suspects during police-involved shootings to return to court on November 15th. The officers will face criminal charges on that date. Arrest warrants remain outstanding for ex-policemen Shando King, Samuel Ferguson, and 3139 DeVoe. Unlike a criminal trial, the verdicts of coroners' juries are not binding. It's up to the Director of Public Prosecutions to decide if charges will be filled. According to the court's marshal, the DPP has not concluded a review of the inquest files to determine the way forward. And prosecutors opening their case against a man accused of the attempted abduction of a 17-year-old girl 4 years ago. Chiguerva Moxie has pleaded not guilty to the charge at his trial before Justice Franklin Williams KC. The judge reprimanded Moxie for shaking his head and mumbling as his now 21-year-old accuser, Shanique Joseph, gave her testimony. On November 20th, 2020, at around 2 p.m., Joseph said she noticed a heavily tinted red car through Father Calnan Road as she walked home from school. She said she was about to lift the latch on the gate to her home. A man grabbed her hand from behind and tried to put her in the car. The old woman said she managed to get away and run inside the house, and the man got back into his vehicle and sped off. According to Joseph, she was on the porch on her grandparents' home on November 23rd, 2020, when she saw a red car come through the corner again. Joseph said her uncle flagged down a police car and the man tried to flee but was caught. The witness said she later identified the accused from a photo array. Overseas, the U.S. France and other allies jointly called for an immediate 21-day ceasefire to allow for negotiations into the escalating conflict between Israel and Hezbollah that has killed more than 600 people in Lebanon in recent days. The joint statement, negotiated on the sidelines of the U.S. General Assembly in New York, says the recent fighting is, quote, intolerable and presents an unacceptable risk of a broader regional escalation. The statement says that they call for a 21-day ceasefire across the Lebanon-Israel border to provide a space for diplomacy, and called on all parties, including the governments of Israel and Lebanon, to endorse the temporary ceasefire immediately. There was no immediate reaction from the Israeli or Lebanese governments or Hezbollah, but senior U.S. officials say all parties were aware of the call for the ceasefire. Earlier, representatives from Israel and Lebanon reiterated their support for a UN resolution that ended the 2006 war between the Israel and the Iranian-backed militant group. Meanwhile, families fleeing the escalating conflict in Lebanon are pouring into Syria in growing numbers, waiting for hours in heavy traffic to reach the relative safety of another war-torn country. UN officials estimated that thousands of Lebanese and Syrian families had already made the journey. Those numbers are expected to grow as Israel targets southern and eastern Lebanon in an aerial bombardment that local officials say has killed more than 600 people this week, at least a quarter of them women and children. Israel says it's targeting Hezbollah fighters and weapons. The president of the Dominican Republic warning that his administration would take drastic measures to protect the country if a UN-backed mission in neighboring Haiti targeting gang violence fails. Luis Abinader did not provide details of what action he might take during his speech at the UN General Assembly in New York. Gangs in Haiti control 80% of the capital of Port-au-Prince, and they've grown more powerful since the July 2021 assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. More than 3,600 people have been reported killed during the first half of this year, a more than a 70% increase compared with the same period last year. The violence has also left nearly 700,000 Haitians homeless in recent years, and thousands have fled Haiti, which shares the island of Hispaniola with the Dominican Republic. Abinader thanked Kenya, which is leading the mission in Haiti, with nearly 400 police officers from the East African country recently joined by nearly 24 police and soldiers from Jamaica and 2 senior military officers from Belize. Another 300 police from Kenya are expected to deploy within a month. Abinader says the current mission needs to be fully established so that free and transparent elections can be held. Haiti has not held elections since 2016, and a transitional presidential council was ordered to do so by February 2026. Abinader says that last year, 10% of medical appointments involved Haitians, and that 147,000 of 200,000 foreign minors in the Dominican education system are Haitian in origin. He said, quote, "The crisis in Haiti warrants particular attention. We can't do it alone." Under Abinader, Dominican officials last year deported more than 170,000 people believed to be Haitians, according to government data. But the UN's International Organization for Migration has estimated that the number is closer to 224,000. Activists have long criticized the Dominican Republic and Abinader and his administration for what they say is the ongoing violation of the human rights of Haitians and those born in the Dominican Republic to parents of Haitian descent. Abinader has rejected the accusations, reiterating Wednesday that the Dominican government is profoundly committed to protecting human rights. In sports, both the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers have connections to the Bahamas, and now both will be here at the same time, engaging in basketball activities to get their 2024-25 NBA campaigns underway. The Sixers will arrive on Monday following their media day on the same day at their regular training complex in New Jersey. Their 5-day training camp is set for October 1st through 5th at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort. The Heat will be over at Bahamar. Their camp is also set for October 1st through 5th, and they will also travel to the Bahamas following their media day on September 30th. The Heat's media day will be held in their home venue in Miami. Both teams are chasing the NBA champions Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference, and both are looking to begin their journeys in the Bahamas. Eric E.J. Gordon of the Philadelphia 76ers will be here with his team. You read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. University of Mississippi Rebels women's basketball team, guided by Bahamian Yolette coach Joe McPhee-McEwen, is gearing up for its 2024-25 season. McPhee-McEwen and her team are set to participate in the Continental Tire Bahamar Women's Championship from November 25th through 27th at Bahamar Resort. Ole Miss meets Boston College in the opening round with a chance to then face off against Oregon State or the University of Connecticut Yukon Huskies in the championship. In last year's championship, the Louisville Cardinals emerged victorious over Maryland. Read more on that in today's Guardian Sports section. And from the WNBA, Alyssa Thomas and the Connecticut Sun were happy to finally close out an opening round series at home in 2 games. Thomas had 19 points and 13 assists to help the Sun sweep Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever out of the playoffs with an 87-81 win Wednesday night. Since the league changed its playoff format in 2022, the Sun have needed to win a decisive 3rd game on the road in the first round to advance, which they did both years. This time, they were able to do it at home. The 3rd-seeded Sun will now face Minnesota in the semifinals, which begin Sunday. Clark played much better in Game 2 than she did in her postseason debut on Sunday. The AP Rookie of the Year finished with 25 points and 9 assists, but it wasn't enough. And Afisa Collier scored 42 points to tie a WNBA playoff record for points in the game. And the Minnesota Lynx swept the Phoenix Mercury 101-88. Collier tied Brianna Stewart and Angel McCautry for the 42-point record when she made one of 2 free throws with 3:18 left in the fourth quarter. It was one of just 2 misses from the free throw line in 14 attempts for Collier, who was subbed out with 58.3 seconds left. Collier, who scored a career-high 38 points in Game 1, became the first player in WNBA history with 38-plus points in back-to-back playoff games. She also set a WNBA record for the most points, 80, over a 2-game stretch in the playoffs. Collier reaching 38 points in Game 2 with 5:55 left in the fourth. Minnesota plays against Connecticut, as we told you, Sunday, which advanced to its 6th consecutive semifinal after that win over Caitlin Clark and Indiana. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Scotiabank. Rain bands associated with Hurricane Helene continue to move across the Bahamas, the northern and northwest Bahamas, parts of the central Bahamas as well. And this is producing scattered passing showers and isolated thunderstorms. These will continue through Friday. A tight pressure gradient will produce moderate to near gale force winds along with rough seas throughout the country. High pressure will slowly build across the remainder of the Bahamas. Swimmers and boaters strongly discouraged from entering waters of the Great Bahama Bank, the tongue of the ocean, and the southern and western coastlines of Andros, Bimini, and western Grand Bahama due to rough seas and life-threatening rip currents. Strong to near gale winds may be experienced in Andros, Bimini, and portions of Grand Bahama today through Friday. There is a marginal risk of localized flooding across portions of the northern and northwest Bahamas during heavy rainfall events, as well as minor coastal flooding impacting the south, and western coastlines of the northern and central Bahamas. For today, your forecast for the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, partly cloudy, warm and humid, 30 to 35% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Winds southwest to south at 20 to 25 knots, gusty at times. For the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, partly cloudy, hot and humid, isolated passing showers and thunderstorms. Winds southeast to south at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts. Rain chances of 20 to 35%. For the central Bahamas today, partly sunny and hot with a few isolated passing showers. For the southeastern islands, mostly sunny and hot. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down about 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. The heat index will still be a factor, making it feel like it's 102 to 104 Fahrenheit. That's 39 to 40 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have a look at the tropics and your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This first look at weather brought to you by Scotiabank. Be a fraud fighter. Sharing isn't always caring. Keep your personal and financial information private. Never share account details with anyone. A reminder from Scotiabank.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Are you tired of the same old 5K runs? Want something more? Then get ready for the Chickcharney Challenge City Run on September 28th, starting at Crypto Wild. Test your strength, stamina, and spirit. It takes all of you to dodge, climb, conquer obstacles as you race through the heart of the city. Lace up and get to the Chickcharney Challenge City Run. Register now on our website, chickcharneychurn.com, or on our social media pages. Brought to you by Colina, Island Yogurt, Advantage Insurance, Art of Graphics, Crypto Wild, and Guardian Radio 96.9.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Float Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. Hope you're doing well.
I have a bit of a cold.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
You sound pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, very nasally.
Oh,
Good
dear.
Smart.
Well, I hope you feel better. Hopefully, it will make you feel better. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Let's go for it.
We're going to try. All right. But thank you for being with us this morning. Really appreciate it. All right. Coming up this morning, we're going to be talking about the Men and Boys March and Rally, part of International Men's Day. That rally is set for Sunday. We'll get all the details about this morning. And then later, we're talking with Easy Car Sales about their EV City Homecoming. And they've got a Generation E mix and mingle. So a lot happening. That's also this weekend. So we've got a lot to talk about, including with what's in the news. All right, so in the news, a lot coming out of the House yesterday. The debate on the National Crime Intelligence Agency bill and a lot of accusations of flip-flopping. I think that's a pastime now in the country. We're going to get to that in just a bit. Also, the Minister of National Security speaking about crime while giving his contribution to this debate. We keep hearing it, crime down, but murders up 13%. So we're going to get deeper into that in just a bit. But this has been talked about quite a lot over the past few days. What exactly is the status of Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson with the police force, the former head of the Criminal Investigation Department? There's been all manner of rumors. There's been that ridiculous video that was going around, old footage with new audio. Really irresponsible journalism from one of our competitors, which caused a lot of confusion for people. And then there was this memo that was going around that also had people scratching their heads, right? So people asked Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings about this yesterday, and this is what she had to say. Take a listen.
Members of the press, I take this opportunity to draw your attention to an internal document that is in circulation on various social media platforms, indicating that Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson has returned to duty. The document further highlights Chief Superintendent Johnson transferred to the Office of the Commissioner with effect from Monday, the 8th of July, 2024. The Commissioner of Police wishes to remind members of the public that the investigation into the voice notes are ongoing and that Chief Superintendent Johnson remains on garden leave and will remain until the conclusion of the investigation. In addition to the foregoing, there is in circulation a dated photo depicting myself, Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippix, and Chief Superintendent Johnson at a crime scene. The media and general public is hereby advised that this is a dated photo and does not reflect the current status of Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson.
Okay, Kristen Skipping's there, Chief Superintendent. Hey, let's get your reaction to it. Will this finally put an end to all the speculation and the rumors? And what does it say that there are so many and people are so willing to believe anything that pops up regarding this individual and this investigation? Let's get your reaction to it. Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. How do you feel about that, Laverne? He's been transferred. It's just a formality.
Right.
Even though he's on leave.
Back to headquarters because he can.
Mm-hmm.
He was in charge of the criminal division.
Well, so standard procedure when you are, I guess, approaching that age. Mm-hmm.
Right. But here's the thing. If, and of course, I'm not condoning irresponsible reporting, right? Of course, you have to do your research and make sure that the information that you are giving to the public is accurate. But I also want us to consider that perhaps if there was more information force coming from the Royal Bahamas Police Force as it pertains to this investigation, it may not be able to completely stop the rumors and everything that is coming out, but it certainly would be able to minimize it. When there's nothing being said, you leave people to come up with their own conclusion. And would we have gotten an explanation or any sort of update if this incorrect information, video, dated photo had not come out in the general public?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep, great point.
So we got to consider that. The public still wants to know, is still interested in knowing what's going on with this investigation. Did we ever get an answer as to whether or not these investigators ever came to the Bahamas? I think not.
We did. We did get an answer.
We did, right?
And they did not come.
And they did not come.
Yes.
But so when you have all of these things on the table, people can discuss, people can make up things, people can misinterpret things. A photo comes up and someone can say, well, look at him, he's on. Again, you are not providing us, since you are investigating you. I would have thought that it would have been at the top of your list to make sure that you are keeping the public informed and in a timely manner. And because you're not, it, like I said, is going to leave people open to make assumptions and buy into rumors, spread rumors.
Yeah.
So this is where we're at.
Yeah. All right, the phone lines are lit up. Let's hear what you're saying. We'll get your text messages as well. Continue to call in, though. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. Hi, good morning.
Hey, Dwight, good morning, and good morning, Miss Queen of Freeport, Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes. Hey, Dwight, and Laverne. Laverne, you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Dwight and Laverne, this case right now is coming across to me as a case where this government and this police cycle we are facing is showing us that some people are above the law. Everything what you said a while ago, Laverne, I agree with it, because at the end of the day, they continue to just come and with their smokes and mirrors as if they talking to the wall, because walls don't have no brains. But they need to know that they are talking to people, to human beings, would have just as much thinking ability, right, as they do. Right? This ain't the 1920s. This 2024, right? And they see these big, grown, so-called educated men and women trying to deceive a whole nation, right? It's unbelievable because
Well, how are they trying to deceive a nation?
Okay, let me explain that to you. The way they are, this is just my view, right? Why you said to us that some people will come into the Bahamas to do some investigation on numerous accounts, you know, the officials from the police and the government was taunting this lie, because it is a lie now, right? And when they were saying that, Dwight, the persons who was involved with this alleged whatever it was, they was on vacation or on garden leave out of the country, right? So on one hand, they telling us that the people coming here to investigate. On the other hand, the people who's a part, who's obviously is a part of the investigation or should be a part of the investigation, in time for when the people who they say was coming. That sound like deception, Dwight?
I don't know if I'd put that label on it, but
definitely
a lot's been happening. I don't know if anyone's been out of the country. I don't know if you where you got that from.
Right. See, and this is the reason why we the people in this administration don't want no transparency, no accountability, and no Freedom of Information Act, right? Because with those same three tools, right, it could have been much more things stopped in this country. Because see, when people know the avenue for them to escape, they can continue doing what they're doing, right? But if you could put one fence up, right, you could possibly give somebody one doubt, say, but I can't go to that because, I got to get across the fence. But they have the fence open up for corruption in this country. We have the gate open up wide, right? And this is why the Bahamas facing the type of situation it's facing, because we are trying to govern a nation without the tools to govern a nation. The tools to govern a nation ain't just politicians coming telling us things. It's laws, it's acts. What they need to be, what they also have to abide by. But it appears that our politicians, they don't create or interested in creating no circumstances in this country that they have to succumb to.
I mean, you don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt that there is an investigation going on and that we will know what happens by the end of the year. You don't have any faith in that?
Dwight, after what I just explained to you, right, there is no way, nothing is going to come out of this situation, right? See, because the commissioner of police appointed this gentleman to be in the position he in, right? So we don't know the connection of that, but that's what happened, right? The prime minister appointed the commissioner of police.
Doesn't necessarily mean anything. That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Right. Think about this. Appointments, right? Appointments ain't the same thing as somebody just, when you appointed, right, you have to be appointed by someone. And the person who appoints you ain't just appoint you to have your own your own way or your own function. You're going to be appointed based on what they tell you that you're going to have to comply to, Dwight. That's how it's ever been in this country.
I mean, with a lot of people. Thank you for the call, for calling, though. I appreciate it. With a lot of people, not everybody. Some people have integrity. They put you there. They don't like what you're doing. You're doing foolishness. Okay, we got to go. All right? That's how it works. But, I mean, if we really believe everybody is just rotten to the core like that, well, what are we going to do? Just say, oh, well, that's how it is, or we're going to try to fix it? And I don't believe everybody is. A lot of people are, but not everybody's rotten to the core.
No.
Not even
There are some people who,
not even, right? You know, boy, it's growing. Oh boy, it's growing. But
there are some bad apples.
plenty, but not all. You want to take another call? Yep. All right, and continue to text in 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning, caller.
Morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Dwight, this kind of thing should get us angry as a people. As I listen to our calls, that caller that you had just now, it's clear that in a lot of instances, discussing these issues is something that we've been challenged with, just as it relates to our level of communication and competency, generally nationally as a society. It's challenging to communicate about these kinds of issues, and our leaders know that, right? But as we listen for it and you ask the question, because you have a job to do as a journalist, but you ask the question, if we don't think that we can get it by the end of this year, Dwight, get the hold on to hope that we can get it at the end of this year. It's called hope deferred, the hope that makes one sick, Dwight. I think that given our leaders the benefit of the doubt, only making us look stupid and frustrating us more in the process, right? And so I think the time has come that we as a people need to start practicing our side with our leaders, right? And letting them spoon feed us BS and pissing on us and calling the brain.
Okay, all right. Well, you're getting a little excited. All right, so, wow. Some heavy language at this hour. So what are you proposing? What do you do? All right, one more call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Cousin Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning to Laverne.
You're not going to get yourself as worked up as that last caller, right?
No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Laverne, how things in Freeport, darling?
overcast, but they remain the same.
Oh, okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Dwight, yeah, I've been listening with this Chief Superintendent Johnson thing. And the fact that he has been transferred to Central, what the Bahamian people don't realize, he's an officer, so he can't go on quarter guard duty like the regular local constables. But if you see them send him up to Central, you could almost consider that quarter guard duty for him. Desk duty, quarter guard. So that is where they normally send them, pending investigations. So let's tell the nation, let's don't try to get too hot like them last couple of callers, you know what I mean? And wait to see what happens. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, I don't know if that's, he's on leave, so I don't know if he should be, I don't think it's as simple as what you're saying. But this transferring thing is something totally different. And they're trying to imply this would have happened regardless. Oh, that's, I don't know. Anyway. Boy, let's get to the text messages. The person says, hey, when you're not transparent and forthcoming with the truth, this is what happens, Dwight. There's too much big signals from the minister and the commissioner. Dwight and Laverne, the rumors, false narratives, etc., are indicative of an insatiable diet from the public who wants justice. Until a favorable conclusion towards this is done, this will all continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what's going to be favorable, right?
Right. What's going to happen?
Yeah, what's favorable to you might not be favorable to the rest of us.
Right, so it goes back to, I think when this first started, what I initially said is the public, are we willing to accept whatever the outcome is of this investigation.
Yep.
Are we willing to accept that?
Yeah. This texter says, as that caller indicated, we are the reason why this won't change. Here's an example. Dwight, can you on air name a time any politician has lied to the public, not misspoke, no benefit of the doubt, not misled? Can you on air say you recall a time a politician has lied during this administration? This subtle cloaking of darkness is why we are here. I mean, it's not necessarily cloaking of darkness, but I mean, yeah, there's tons of lying going on. We could look at these little manifesto blueprints for change things that people tell us that's what they will do, right, during their term. And they tell us, no, that's not a priority. Y'all ain't really want that. That's a lie. These are lies.
We put it in there.
So whoever wrote that,
you don't want that.
Lies. But yeah, I mean, there have other times. There's been times, sure, and they've been called out. You want to hear us say this person's a liar, but I mean, you can tell. If we tell you, you said back then this, and then now you're saying this, something is not connecting here. At one point, you must have lied. So you can draw the conclusion and say, well, that person's a liar. You want to hear the media call the person a liar. You make the conclusion. You make the determination. But you want us to do it. Okay, I hear you. I mean, good morning, Dwight. 3 people were charged before the courts based on what police found on their WhatsApps, i.e. the American woman trying to hire men to kill her husband, the young prison officer girl, and the 3 men charged with the murder out west. There were no FBI investigations into their WhatsApp messages and voice notes, so why did they need 6 months to investigate this one? Well, I think it's deeper than just the messages, but I hear you. Dwight, I'm just tuning in. Are you saying that Michael Johnson was in fact transferred to police headquarters? What is happening? I'm going to read this again. So this is in today's Nassau Guardian. Travis Cartwright Carroll saying Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, who is on garden leave pending an investigation into voice notes, was transferred to police headquarters to the office of the commissioner as a formality, according to Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings. An internal police document, which was shared on social media, shows that Johnson was transferred in July. But Skipping says some people incorrectly interpreted that to mean that Johnson returned to duty. She said Johnson remains on leave and has been transferred back to headquarters. It's a standard procedure. She said Johnson will remain on leave until the conclusion of the investigation. Yep.
So, according to Skippings, he's not back to duty. He's only just been transferred to headquarters. Not on duty.
Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Levine.
Good morning. Good morning.
It still don't seem
how
fair.
How are you?
Huh?
How are you?
Thank God for life, Rachel. Thank God for life, Mom. Dwight, it still don't seem fair with what they doing. It's different from a parent looking out for their favorite child when he do something wrong, treat him special or different than they treat the other children. It feel like the commissioner looking out for his boy, like his rider. He looking, it's like. It don't make no sense. How long does anybody or they know how long the garden leave is go on for? Years, months, or whatever. It's like some kind of. If this was an average officer, they wouldn't have been getting treated like this. Plenty of them get in the front of the court. Would make this one like the people give the example with different cases where they listen to voicemail and charge people and get them in front of. That's what the courts are sort out. Let the courts and investigator. The police can't on like this, the judge and the commissioner of police and this probe can't on like this, the judge and the jury. And we don't want to hear nothing from SIB. Please don't bring us nothing to tell us about SIB say this and SIB say that. Because it's like they work along with the politicians like these people are shameless. I don't believe Sir Lyndon would allow this to go on. Not Hubert Ingram wouldn't allow it to go on. And I don't even think Perry Christie, in spite of what they might say, him not being proactive like Hubert Ingram or Sir Lyndon, they wouldn't allow this. This is shameful. Brad Davis need to put his foot down and put it. I know Commissioner of Police, they saying on the street that that's his friend. This a friend thing in the Bahamas. Because Johnson might be a rider or a friend of the commissioner. They treating him like this for 6 months. This is a big joke, hey. They don't respect us. The commissioner, you need to resign. Someone need to fire him. How you could have someone, use the prime minister, and you can't fire people when people need to be fired? When they do it, how are we supposed to trust the police? Y'all having all these international people coming here, but y'all doing this and y'all doing that when y'all get the big chief. The big chief didn't want to believe for a big chief superintendent accused of foolishness. People tired if they want us to get tired and stop talking, and yeah, we get tired and want to stop talking about it, but it's a shameless, man. My God.
Okay, all right. Thanks very much. Everybody's very heated on this Thursday morning.
Right? It just goes to show you how the public feels about this particular incident. And people are of the view that this investigation is not being done properly, or they feel like there's a bias. And that is why it was so important to be open and transparent with this investigation. I think it was made worse when the commissioner said that they would not, or whomever said the release came out, that they would not be, speaking to this matter like that.
Yeah, it was the commissioner. Yep.
Yeah. So people already felt, let's not pretend. There's a certain feeling among people, I won't say everybody, all Bahamians, about the police force and them protecting their own. And, people have shared stories. We don't know if it's true, it's false, or it's somewhere in the middle. All not a good life for police officers. And now you got 11 of them before the courts, 3 outstanding, so it was very important.
Maybe before the courts. We'll see. Maybe.
Right, maybe. Exactly. Maybe before the courts. And so it was very important that because this was such a high-ranking officer, and this came out in a way where everybody was sending around that voice note. It was so important for them to be super transparent.
All right, let me read these messages before we go to the break. This person says, and this is the thing, because I don't know what this is, and maybe the police force needs to be a little more transparent itself in how it operates, but how does it get to be standard procedure if very few people knew about it? Standard always means well-known. No one, didn't seem like very many. Maybe people within the force know, but the rest of us still like, what? Right. When did that? Is that always the case?
And standard procedure doesn't always mean well-known.
Well,
because I'm saying that because you can have a standard procedure within your operation.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah, but the
I'm
public.
sure you have standard procedures at Guardian.
I'm sure.
The public isn't aware of.
Right. Nor do they need to know. But the police force. I mean,
the police may
people
feel that same way.
Yeah, that's why we. Anyway, that explains a lot. That's
why we have fake pictures or dated pictures.
People are confused.
And whatever else going around.
Right. Because they have all these little secret things going on that people don't know about. I'm like, wait, is that right? And this garden leave thing, very few people knew what that was before they introduced that to us. Oh, my goodness gracious. The texter also says, where there is silence, there will be multiple rumors. The police chief said
that's right.
They would not speak about the case, so he remained silent. So there will be multiple rumors.
But everybody else speaking about it.
Complete nonsense in 2024. Information is always available, some of it not true, some of it true. To head this off, they need to be upfront. And to say these international bodies would be coming to investigate and then they did not immediately tells us they were not coming on such an important case. And that leads the country not to trust the police and not to trust the national security minister. In fact, the prime minister must take the lead in this because the Bahamian public will not trust them again. Oh, boy. This is tough. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about intelligence, the National Intelligence Agency, and the changes that are coming for that. We'll get into it. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
RBC is good for all of you. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC is good for all of you. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
It's time for your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. Here's what's happening. We've got, as usual, heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway from just south of the Fire Trail roundabout straight up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway. That's northbound lanes there. Traffic is backed up a bit along Fire Trail westbound and eastbound towards that roundabout. Over on Glaston Road, also busy for you from Fire Trail straight up to to John F. Kennedy Drive and Bahamar Boulevard. If you're heading northbound. Building traffic on Carmichael westbound to Coral Harbor Road, and some heavy eastbound traffic just east of Fire Trail on Carmichael to Blue Hill Road. Heavy traffic this morning. And Blue Hill's busy from about there to Soldier Road, and then again in the northbound lanes if you're heading towards Independence Drive on Blue Hill Road. Independence Drive back to both directions, especially westbound this morning. East Street, just north and south of Soldier Road, busy, slow-moving northbound traffic for you. And Soldier near Windsor Place and Old Trail, also seeing some slow-moving traffic. North of the intersection with Prince Charles Robinson, also on the way to Bernard Village and Wolf Road, straight through to Village if you're heading northbound on Soldier. And Prince Charles Drive, heavy traffic, especially near Fox Hill Road and College Garden Road and Beatrice Avenue if you're heading westbound. Charles Saunders Highway also seeing some slow-moving traffic, mainly eastbound towards Beatrice Avenue at this hour. Eastern Road, heavy westbound traffic just west of San Souci to about Johnson Road this morning. That's our first look at traffic. We'll have another one after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend Traffic brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. And time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by the Hit Spot. And we've got rain bands associated with Hurricane Helene, which has now been upgraded to a Category 2 hurricane, that continue to move across the islands of the northern, northwest, and parts of the central Bahamas, producing scattered passing showers and isolated thunderstorms. That's going to continue through Friday. A tight pressure gradient will produce moderate to near gale force winds along with rough seas over the islands. High pressure will slowly build across the rest of the country. So as a result of all this, swimmers and boaters are strongly discouraged from entering the waters of the Great Bahama Bank, the tongue of the ocean, and the southern and western coastlines of Andros, Bimini, and western Grand Bahama due to high, rough seas and life-threatening rip currents. Strong to near gale winds will be experienced in Andros, Bimini, and portions of Grand Bahama today through Friday. There is a marginal risk of localized flooding across portions of the northern and northwest Bahamas during heavy rainfall events, as well as minor coastal flooding impacting south and western coastlines in northern and central regions. So for the northern and northwest Bahamas, partly cloudy, warm and humid with isolated passing showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny in the central Bahamas with a few isolated showers, and mostly sunny and hot in the southeast Bahamas. High temperatures getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. The heat index will be a factor today, making it feel like it's 102 to 104 Fahrenheit, 39 to 40 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Friday, tomorrow, partly cloudy across the northwest Bahamas, partly sunny across the central and southeastern islands. Saturday, partly sunny and hot, fair at night. Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds during the day, fair at night. We'll have a closer look at the tropics coming up in our next weather check after the 8 o'clock news. This weather check brought to you by the Hit Spot. Only a few days left to take advantage of the $79.99 Band Expander Special. If you own a Japanese imported vehicle and need to get Guardian Radio, go to the Hit Spot on Soldier Road, $79.99 during the month of September. Mention this ad. That's your morning blend weather. We'll be back after this.
Are you ready to be inspired? Get ready for the events of the year. Inspire Her 2024 is back and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Get tickets now in the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available. Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference, October 10th. See you there.
Craving something delicious and freshly made? Dunkin' has got you covered all day your way. From savory sausage, egg and cheese to crispy bacon, ham, and even tuna. Our sandwiches are made to order just for you. Choose your favorite. Bagels, croissant, toast, or muffin. Whatever you want, we've got it. Whether it's a classic grilled cheese or a hearty club, your perfect sandwich is just a bite away. Dunkin's fresh, made-to-order sandwiches made all day, every day. Only at Dunkin'. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Do you know a fisher who braves the seas every day, bringing home a catch that feeds our communities? Nominate them now for the Anchor Awards, a night dedicated to celebrating the unsung heroes of our waters. On November 16th at the Bahama Resort, we're shining a spotlight on those who make waves, both big and small. Visit the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources Facebook page and click on the link provided to submit your nomination. Let's give our fishers the recognition they deserve. Anchor Awards 2024.
Nassau. Get ready for a night you simply won't want to miss. For the first time in over 40 years, experience an evening with Eddie Menace live at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruiseport on Saturday, October 5th. Tickets are on sale now. Go to ticketboxevents.com or go to the Nassau Cruiseport box office located in the Junkanoo Museum. Joining Eddie on stage, Fran Sean, Gino D, Ira Storr, and the Higher Level Band. An evening with Eddie Menace live at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruiseport, Saturday, October 5th. Get your tickets now.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Your health just got brighter with Lamp Insured. Sign up for Doctors Hospital's Lamp Insurance Supplement Plan and enjoy copay waivers and complete access with no upfront ER or inpatient collections. Only $30 per month. Visit doctorshosp.com/lamp to sign up or contact 242-822-1009. That's 242-822-1009. Your journey to affordable and worry-free healthcare begins now.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
I like sunshine and rain, joy and pain. I like sunshine and rain. Love can be better.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking about the International Men's Day Men and Boys March and Rally set for Sunday. We'll get all the details about that. And later in business, we're talking with Easy Car Sales about their EV City Homecoming and a whole lot more. That's all I had. Wanted to continue talking about what's in the news, though. A lot of you still sending your messages about the police force and your concerns about the police force. So let's get through those, and then we want to get to that national intelligence bill there. But let's read a couple of these before we move on. Laverne, this person says here, tell all these behemoths to keep knocking your police force for the couple bad apples. I hope when you are in danger, call on Jesus and not the police, because you all low-minded people are lost. All police are not bad. You get bad apples in every organization. Well, I mean, okay,
I think
that's
we already
what.
established
Yes,
that,
everybody's saying that.
And I want the texter to know that if there is a problem, we are 100% going to be calling on police.
I mean, hey, that's how it works.
That is how it works.
That's
And
people,
that's what's
politicians
going to
get upset
happen.
about it too, right? They say, oh, all of us are not corrupt, and you all can't be
Exactly.
saying that. And I think a lot of you think journalists are God knows what, and but not everybody's
And
the
it's
same.
only Dwight. It's only Dwight who's the problem.
Oh boy. I wonder what they say about co-hosts.
What do they say?
All right, the texter clearly is a police officer, I guess. Anyway, they're saying,
or a family or
or
friend.
right.
No, but seriously though, we recognize that all police officers are not bad. All police officers are not corrupt. They're police officers who put on the uniform and carry themselves with integrity and work to the best of their abilities. We are aware of that. But as with life, the focus is usually on the corrupt. And so, as much as we know that there's integrity within the police force, we also know that there are bad apples.
Yeah.
And right now, we're talking about the bad apples.
unfortunately, right? And we do need, I think I heard somebody say that yesterday, we need to see more of the good that the police do. I know they're doing some on their social media. They're showing some of that, but it would be good to see more of it. We know in the U.S. media, they are actively always showing the police saving the little ducks and the puppies and the people and the whatever.
Every minute they get.
All the time. We don't really have that here, but we know it happens. And I'm sure the media will be very willing to partner with the police to show the good that's going on. But for some reason, we don't see it like that. But hey, I don't know what that means. All right, the text goes on, Laverne.
Let's not pretend, because we have an appetite for this kind of stuff.
Oh, we
So
just
let's
like
not
the bad
pretend.
stuff.
We do. We
But
do.
I mean, that can change, I'm sure. We start seeing police officers saving old ladies as they cross the street. Yeah, people will say, I want to see more of that.
That appetite is not particular to us. That's generally. But
Mhm.
okay, go ahead. The texter.
They go on to say that they were responding to a caller. Everyone needs to calm down and stop getting emotional. A man is innocent until proven guilty. Okay, yeah.
Really?
What?
Really though?
Of course.
Really, though?
What do you mean by that? Of course.
Okay.
Yes,
Let me
that's how it
say
is.
this.
You
That's
sure you want to
how it
say
is
something?
according to the law, but in the court of public opinion, it's more like you guilty and you have to prove you're innocent.
Oh boy. Wow. Well, this texter says, if all the people in power are allegedly criminals chasing money for extra trips to Dubai, oh my goodness, it's getting very specific.
Ooh.
Okay, let me stop here. Okay. And, oh my goodness. Whoa. And
Okay, well, that text read well. Okay.
it changed from, from regular to all caps suddenly. So they're getting louder and they're making serious claims. And they're saying, yeah, so if everybody's so corrupt, I'm editing, then who can sleep well at night not knowing if you will be dead or in jail the next day? Wow. Okay. This text says, Dwight.
Do you sleep at night? Do you have that issue?
No, but I don't. I'm not going to win. Dwight, all pictures are dated, but there was a video that proved the photo was from a scene after the voice notes. No, we already told you what that was. We had a media company that foolishly used file footage and put audio over that. right? Instead of using a photo of, I think it was Superintendent Skippings, all right? Instead of using a still photo of her, they used a video from a scene from months back, and Johnson happened to be standing next to her. That was a very bad decision. Journalistically, no, and it didn't say file footage. So it was a terrible thing, and that went around, and people didn't notice it for some reason that the audio was not in sync at all with the what was being said, which was no audio on the video, right? You get what I'm saying? But that wasn't correct, and that did cause a lot of confusion. People were not paying attention, but people are very willing to believe the worst in our Bahamas today, and that's unfortunate. This person says, oh boy, that previous text is not going to like this. Crooks are rampant in the police force, and higher up individuals are trying to get richer. They sent earlier text messages about, stop cutting off my messages. It's intended to elicit a response from the gangsters that we are on to them. They never solved the prison break of a Colombian cocaine prince who was let go of Fox Hill Prison by police officers. Oh my goodness gracious. I think, oh boy, he was eventually caught in Colombia. It's a lot of snippets I can throw out there with the mafia and the police force. Why did you call in and say these things? How about that? You want me to read these things, Ben? Okay. Yeah, for all of you who get upset that I cut and edit your text messages, call in and say it. Yeah, how about that? We'll cut you there too, but still. You're not going to get me to read this nonsense. There's a difference between a few bad apples and a diseased tree. The tree needs to be treated. Wow. My goodness gracious. You heard that, Laverne? That's rough.
Yeah.
Is it that bad? Is it that bad? This person says here, I still want to know who will care about the investigation in December, because I'll be worrying about opening my gifts and Junkanoo and ham and turkey. And I sleep good at night because I sleep like a newborn baby. No, yeah, we will be caring. We will. That's fine. You don't have to, but we will.
But we will.
Yes, absolutely. Let's take this call, and I do want to get in really quickly about the National Intelligence Bill. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning to you guys. How are you this morning?
Doing well. Good morning.
I'm not trying to be combative with you, but both of you are coming across as a bit disingenuous, saying, yeah, we got bad apples on the force, but, there's some good ones too. It's obvious by the messages that you are getting in your text, and by, I'm going to assume other persons have called off, whatever responses you're getting, people are frustrated, and a lot of Bahamians, myself included, have suffered gross injustices at the hands of the police force. And if you have bad apples on the force, and if they're being dealt with, that's not being made public. We know that, or the general perception is, bad officers are allowed to do what they want, and if they are so happen to be caught, maybe they get transferred to another island, or they get a slap on the wrist, and the incidences keep happening. So I just wanted to say that, and then my question is, why is it that these quote-unquote bad apples don't see some sort of public reprimand? At least in other parts of the world, we know who was responsible, say, for example, killing George Floyd or Tamir Rice or, other officers. At least we know who they are. These other officers that basically terrorize the community. We don't see what happens to them. So I think it's a little disingenuous for you all to sit there and act like, yeah, some bad apples, but, come on, man. Y'all don't be like that, please.
I mean, so you think most of the police force is corrupt? That's what you're saying? You believe that?
I would go as far as to say half. Because, yes, there are some officers that try to do their job properly. But there's an overwhelming amount of incidences where Bahamian people get abused multiple times. So how are we just going to sit back and say, yeah, some bad ones, but, that's a problem all over the world. It sounds to me, particularly for you, Dwight, you've never suffered an injustice at the hands of the police officer. And maybe, I'm hoping that never happens to you, but, maybe you can speak to that. I don't know you personally, but maybe you just choose to be an optimist. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you very much. You sound like you're bothered by that. We're giving people the benefit of the doubt as well. And we know that people have had not pleasant encounters with some, but you've had different experiences with others. And as we say, I don't know what your experiences have been. Sounds like they've been horrible. But not everybody has that reality. There have been police officers that have been charged. They are in jail. It's happened. It definitely has happened. Maybe, I'm not sure why you don't know this. We're going to see what happens with this group that may see charges in November for the unlawful killings, or at least that the coroner's court has deemed so. But I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I feel sorry and sad that you feel that way, that you've had such a terrible, terrible time with the police force. And I know a lot of people have as well. But everybody has a different reality. There's nothing more I can say.
We're not here trying to minimize anybody's experience, because your experience is your experience, right? And we're not here trying to minimize anybody's experience, and we're not trying to sugarcoat or whitewash anybody's experience or those corrupt officers. But I still stand by the fact that not everybody on the police force is corrupt. And that's the point that we were trying to make.
I know many good ones. I'm sure you do as well, right?
Right. And so it doesn't lessen the fact that there are corrupt ones there. But there's still a good ones. And I think we're just trying to be fair in our assessment of what's going on. So again, we're not trying to be insensitive to somebody's experience with the police officer, with the police department.
Wow. All right. This texter says, stop living in your bubble. The reality is out here for the majority of us. Well, sounds like my bubble's a very good place to be. But okay. Hey, let's get to this really quickly. Can we get to this report? This is what's happening. Flip-flopping the order of the day. Well, so says the opposition. On the Prime Minister's stance on the National Intelligence Bill. Take a listen to this report from our Vonique Toot.
Opposition leader Michael Pintard accused the Progressive Liberal Party government of tabling the very bill it opposed in 2019 while the Free National Movement was in power. Among the proposed amendments to the bill are changing the name of the organization to the National Intelligence Agency, as not all matters it will deal with are criminal. Another change is to introduce a National Intelligence Agency Commission to address employee matters and complaints, as well as to give the NIA more structure and address career paths. However, Pintard insisted it is the same bill that Prime Minister Philip Davis once labeled as dangerous and unconstitutional.
The member for Freetown says there should be no opposition, there should be no issue. This is a non-controversial issue. Carmichael said there should be a bipartisan approach to this issue. But let me remind the public, the members of the government today, when they were in the opposition, they opposed the very bill they have now brought today. The very bill. Madam Speaker, it's one or two adjustments. We talked about it, the commission removing the crime out of the label. But they essentially are passing today the very bill that they opposed.
Back in 2019, Davis, who was opposition leader at the time, said the fact that the minister can give directions both specific and general, and the director is obliged to follow it, is concerning, adding, this is setting up a spy agency.
The amendments that they're passing today does not amend any of the things that the member for Kent Island said was unconstitutional and was dangerous. The Prime Minister, and let me read into the record for the public so they can appreciate this. One of the things that the Prime Minister said, they ought not be empowered to search and execute warrants. They should leave that to the enforcement agency. Mr. Davis went on to pinpoint which provisions of the bill he saw as unconstitutional. He was referring to Clause 27. No amendment in this bill, Madam Speaker. He left 27. He like it now. Didn't like it then, but now he in power, he like it now.
I am debating today the amendment to that bill, not that bill in itself. All right? And my views on of the bill was in the context of the discussion to pass the bill. The bill has now been passed. It's now a law. I'm not now being troubled by whether to amend my views to the bill to make it suit my views. That's not what parliamentarians are about.
National Security Minister Wayne Munro insisted the bill is not the same as parliamentarians are debating amendments. He insisted it is unhelpful to politicize this issue.
And yes, Madam Speaker, it is unhelpful to politicize some things. And so, yes, this Minister of National Security will always boldly say there's some things you don't politicize. If you were politicizing this subject matter, what has happened with other matters is you would come in, and because it didn't emanate from you, you would kill it.
Munro also insisted the Minnis administration brought the National Crime Intelligence Agency bill in 2019, but did little else after that.
If you have a debate about something that's important, like then the National Crime Intelligence Agency that you passed in 2019 and never in fact bring to light, you will run on about crime when the subject of the debate is should we amend this bill.
Meanwhile, Carmichael MP Keith Bell accused the former government of leaving the country vulnerable when it left a bill brought by the last Christie administration in 2017 to languish, then took 2 years to bring the NCIA bill. He called the delay inexcusable.
But why did it take them 2 years to reestablish the agency? What's even more baffling, Madam Speaker, is that when they took office in 2017, the NIA bill was already waiting for them. And Madam Speaker, I'm going to table the bill. We had consulted with our attorneys in England, the Honorable Alison Maynard Gibson, and of course, Dr. Knowledge, and all of us. We met constantly just to ensure that we got this as best we possibly can, and we got advice from our attorneys in the United Kingdom to ensure that we presented a very, very strong bill having regard of the depth of intelligence, Madam Speaker.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Warning 2.
All right, we're running out of time, so we'll have to get into this a little bit at another point. But I just want to read these messages that came in based on that call and some other things that were said earlier, Laverne. This person says here, the whole apple may not be spoiled, but it's rotten at its core, or so it seems. What has happened here does not happen. What? It is unusual. Sending an employee on leave during an investigation protects the organization and the employee. The employee cannot be moved from their position until the investigation is completed. If they can be moved, why not demote them to janitor? Or, for example, the commissioner is trying to twist this very unusual circumstance to make us believe it's normal, but it's not normal. Something odd is happening with this case. All right. This is disturbing. Laverne, this person says, I'm 36. I'm a 36-year-old female, and I've been sexually harassed by at least 8 police officers once while my mom was lying in the road after an accident. It's the norm. The good ones are the exception. Eek. And Dwight organization takes on the mantle of its leadership. This present commissioner and his predecessor have together created the force that is policing our nation today.
Wow.
Oh, boy. This is one text about the intelligence bill here. This person says here, our prime minister is a flip. Okay. Man. My goodness gracious. Boy. I'm going to read it. Dwight, our prime minister, is a flip-flopping floozy. Oh, dear Lord. What? Why knock down something in 2019 which you know was right? These people make me sick. At age 74, Davis needs to go and retire. Every day he's causing PLPs to lose more seats. Okay, well, we'll see. I think it's a case of bitter experiences overpowering the positive ones. Just like a restaurant you might try. It only takes one bad customer experience for some people to write off the entire place. I know good police officers, but my experiences with those in public have been negative. I am a productive member of society holding 2 degrees, dressing like an adult, but driving an untinted vehicle. I have been pulled over and addressed at gunpoint by police officers without explanation. And on one occasion, 4 other officers stood around and laughed at my polite responses to the excessively aggressive officer. They recognized his silliness but did nothing about it. This is where I think the problem lies. Yes, I think there are good officers, but their voices and actions need to be louder than the bad ones. Hey, and I think every young man under the age of 30 has had this type of experience. I have as well. We were pulled over and even taken to the police station. But still, the encounters with good ones outweigh those horrible experiences. Well, they have, at least for me. So I know that there are bad ones, and I know that there are good ones. And you can't just say that everything is bad when you know they are good. But I think this texter is onto something. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Dwight, people only see what police do, but civilians don't see what they do. Yes, we get some angry police officers, but you get some people just by pulling them over who want to come with a big attitude. And if a police officer comes with respect, you should respect him. But if he comes off aggressive, you should be the smart one to do whatever he says. Yes, we've got some fellow officers using their powers for nothing. But any officers I work with, when they do something, I guess, I address it very quickly. You have to give respect to earn respect, but we just have a lot of angry civilians and angry police, and there are a lot of unhappy people running around the country. Okay, so I think this is an officer, and I get what you're saying, yes. And you see it all the time. Dwight, maybe you live in a special, in a special place, heavily protected, where the world is round. Jesus is white, what now? And governments aren't corrupt. You've never heard me say any of these things, except for the world is round. Yes, indeed. Anyway, while we God-fearing people experiences don't matter. Now, I don't know what's going on. You've never heard me say that before. Stop your foolishness. Stop it. Just stop. It's dumb. Anyway, this person says the POP is the... Okay. For what? Why? Where's that coming from? The government needs a reset button. There's too much negative news nationwide. Okay, and it's just getting worse. People just venting about the police. Wow. This is not good. They've got a lot of work to do.
I just want to say, maybe you need to forward these facts.
Oh, they're hearing. There's clearly police officers texting us. They know. And we need to all come together and try to figure what we're going to do, because these are the people who are supposed to be protecting us. And if you have this negative attitude about them, it is going to be hard for them to do their job, and it's going to be hard for us to allow them to do their job. This is rough. All right, let's take a break, though. We'll be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us here. We'll be back in just a bit.
Fall is falling into place and everything you need is on sale now at BWF. Slash prices as the leaves fall. Frightfully low prices as you get ready for the season. Enjoy ridiculously low prices and save big this fall with BWF Mega Blowout Sale and 10 Sale. Up to 50% off Friday, September 27 and 10 Sale Saturday, September 28, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Huge savings include appliances, ductless AC units, generators, compressors, water pumps, automotive supplies and accessories, lawn and garden supplies, power tools, kitchen and outdoor supplies, barbecue grills, bakeware, household supplies, floral decor, Junkanoo and craft supplies, and so much more. BWF, we are more than just our name. Number 13 Wilton Street, telephone 394-0004 or 6. Check us out on Facebook. We ship to the Family Islands.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcons, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Breezes Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack location. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
Do you know a fisher who braves the seas every day, bringing home a catch that feeds our communities? Nominate them now for the Anchor Awards, a night dedicated to celebrating the unsung heroes of our waters. On November 16th at the Bahama Resort, we're shining a spotlight on those who make waves, both big and small. Visit the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources Facebook page and click on the link provided to submit your nomination. Let's give our fishers the recognition they deserve. Anchor Awards 2024.
Here's the Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little flow-through, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I had to forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil, shrimp, stew, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
It is time for your final look at weather for the day, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints. It's got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. Here's what's happening. We've got rain bands associated with Hurricane Helene that continue to move across the islands in the northern and northwest Bahamas, parts of the central islands as well. This is producing scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, so that will continue through Friday. Helene now a Category 2 hurricane out in the Gulf of Mexico. A tight pressure gradient will produce moderate to near gale force winds along with rough seas over the islands. High pressure will slowly build across the rest of the country. So boaters and beachgoers are being advised to stay out of the water, especially of the Great Bahama Bank, the tongue of the ocean, and the southern and western coastlines of Andros, Bimini, and West Grand Bahama. We're expecting high surf, rough seas, and life-threatening rip currents. Again, strong to near gale winds may be experienced in Andros, Bimini, and portions of Grand Bahama today through Friday. There's a marginal risk of localized flooding across portions of the northern and northwest Bahamas during heavy rainfall events, as well as minor coastal flooding impacting the south and western coastlines of the northern and central Bahamas. Today, partly cloudy, warm, and humid with isolated passing showers for the northern and northwest Bahamas. Partly sunny to mostly sunny and hot with a few isolated showers possible in the central and southeast Bahamas. Temperatures near 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. The heat index will make it feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius today. In your extended outlook for Friday, partly cloudy across the northwest Bahamas, partly sunny across the central and southeastern islands. Saturday, greatly improved conditions, partly sunny and hot, fair at night. Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds during the day, fair at night. For the start of your work week on Monday, a mix of sun and clouds again, fair at night. In the tropics, we've got Helene out in the southeastern Gulf of Mexico, and newly formed tropical storm Isaac, several hundred miles northeast of Bermuda, but no threat to anybody. Also, we're watching a broad low-pressure system associated with a tropical wave several hundred miles west of the Cabo Verde Islands that has a high or 80% chance of tropical cyclone formation through the next 7 days as it moves westward across the Atlantic. That's your Morning Blend weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. And time for another check of traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. In real-time traffic, still seeing that heavy traffic on Prince Charles Drive near the major intersections, especially Beatrice Avenue. Eastern Road still busy for you as well, near Fox Hill, and as you get closer to Johnson Road. Independence Drive, still slow-moving traffic both directions, mainly eastbound now. Blue Hill Road is busy for you between the Robinson Road roundabout and Tawny Williams-Darling Highway, and that's both directions, north and southbound. Tawny Williams-Darling Highway, heavy traffic both directions from that roundabout straight up to Bahamas Games Boulevard. Milo Butler Highway, still slow-moving northbound traffic for you, heading to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. Six-leg roundabout, multiple directions. John F. Kennedy Drive, eastbound, heavy traffic there. Southbound on New Providence Highway, northbound on Milo Butler Highway as well. Those are your hotspots. That's your real-time traffic brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. And we are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. Changing gears now. Got a special event coming up on Sunday as part of International Men's Day, which is coming up soon. But the Men and Boys March and Rally is set for Sunday. Here to tell all about this, we are very pleased to have back with us Dave Williams. Good morning, sir. Always a pleasure. Good to see you.
Morning. Good to see you too, and morning to Laverne.
Get a little closer to that mic there for us, Dave.
Okay, no problem.
Right, there we go. All right, so this is not the first time you've been doing this march and rally, right?
That's correct.
How long have you been doing this?
I think this should be probably about our fifth march. We started before COVID. We stopped for COVID, and then we resumed. I think it was in the year 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let people know what this is all about and why it's important.
Okay, first I want to, on behalf of our president, Keith Cox, vice president, Henry Higgins, International Men's Day, and our founder, as we all know, the late Terrence Bethel, who was very instrumental in putting this together and bringing the various stakeholders together. International Men's Day Bahamas Committee is a group of men from various political parties, lodges. It's just men. That's the bottom line. And we're not just another organization. Our aim, our objective is to bring men from all organizations together, right, to network and to showcase and to highlight and focus on things men are doing. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we wanted to do is have a march. I can always remember that very first march from the Southern Recreation Ground all the way to Awaki. And so in this march, we seek to highlight and focus on positive things men are doing. When we look at, well, men and boys, sorry. And so when we look at over the years, last year and years before that, we've brought together hundreds of men marching, and we're inviting them again this year to come with your placards, your signs, to highlight men issues, men challenges. And the theme is health. So we're focusing on men's health. What IMD do also is we network with other men and organizations, like how this was held. So we were promoting the prostate, going to various prostate, men health seminars. Mm-hmm. We encourage men to have their prostate check. And the last one is actually today. That's in the Flamingo Garden, and that is very important. I was to South Beach Tuesday. Mm-hmm. The last numbers I received, there was over 140-something persons, which was awesome, and I was glad when I walked in there. I have worked along with us too, with Dr. Robin Roberts too, to get the information out. And so what we want to do as men and boys, we are inviting you to bring out all the boys, all the men. It does not matter. I need to say now, it's not a religious march. So we're inviting the churches, the lodges, the Rastas, the Jonkanos, Israel United in Christ. We're just saying if you are male, and last year we had the privilege of having a group of motorcyclists also joined us on the march. And so we're saying as long as you are male, Christie Park, 3 p.m. this coming Sunday, we're inviting you to come out, and we have a special treat this time. We want to give out the first 100 boys. We're providing free ice cream. So there'll be a big ice cream van out there, and International Men's Day Bahamas Committee will be paying for the ice cream. We will be providing water for all the participants of the march. I want to thank past persons who have participated, the police, youth, I guess that's the recruits, the Defense Force, the Bahamas Department of Corrections. And so we just want to extend the invitation. I want to give my number. You may say, well, I need more information. 433-6917. 433-6917. You can reach out to me if you have a band, anything with men and boys. You just need to not meet me there, Dwight. You need to beat me there.
Wow.
Sunday, 3 p.m.
And it's starting at Christie Park.
Yes, sir.
Give us the route.
Okay, so we start at Christie Park. We go south on Nassau Street. Then we go east on Ponciana Drive. We go north on Blue Hill Road. Then we come back west on Meadow Street. And then we come back south to the park. Afterwards, we're going to have a brief rally. We have a number of singers and a few persons who will share, bring some greetings. We're hoping to get some medical persons to talk about men's health and various other issues that men face. Again, we're inviting our ladies. We're saying, come, support us, be a part of it. You could walk on the sideline if you decide. You can have your signs for the men's group. Be saying, bring your banners, bring your sign. All we're asking, come your jeans and maybe just like a white T-shirt, right? Or if you want to wear your sporting team uniform. But we want to showcase men. That's the objective. People are saying, well, what can be accomplished? We want the public to see there's positive things that are highlighting and focusing on men. Men are doing things.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about this theme again. It's health champions. Why again is that so important, especially this year?
Because it's and that theme, we follow the theme of the International Men's Day International Committee, right? Mm-hmm. And because last year it was suicide, and even when we look at it more based on, I was to the seminar with Dr. Marcus Cooper the other day. Various seminars, I go to these things, and when we hear about the percentage, I don't have them, of men that are dying and for these chronic disease, these diseases which are treatable.
Yeah.
And so for me, next to your relationship with Christ, your health must be your top priority. And when we look at, as a matter of fact, and Dwight, you talked about men's health. This is something I'm going to say publicly. But when I meet with the commission, as you know, I've been involved in prison ministry, still is. Mm-hmm. I thought about it, Dwight. What about those 1,500 plus men at the Bahamas Department of Corrections?
Oh, boy.
Because we're talking about men's health. Mm-hmm. And especially when we talk about prostate cancer. Right? 70% of the persons there are all under the age of 35. What about those other 35%? Which means...
Do you know if they get screenings? Is that a thing?
Right, and that's why I'm saying I thought about it, going to these seminars, and I say, you know what? Maybe I need to raise that issue.
Yeah.
Right? And amazingly, I met with the commissioner the same week, but that didn't cross my mind. Mm-hmm. that maybe that's something they need to put in place. And perhaps persons listening out here who have power could look at that, because we're talking about the importance of men's health. I know the statistics would show that men tend to die quicker than women. And it's simply preventable. It's simply preventable. And so as men, I'm sitting here as a male, one of the gentlemen said, he saw Dr. Roberts and he said he made a joke. So he told Dr. Roberts, Doc, you violate me. So I say, man, that's a good violation. If that's the kind of violation, you gotta get it. The prostate check, the finger. That took, less than 10, 15 seconds, if you could call that.
Plus, again, the blood test is
right.
The more preferred method these days.
Right. But even, I'm saying, whatever it takes, Dwight, if that's what you need to prevent, because 10, 15 years down the road, and I know I remember my father dying from, I think it was prostate cancer. My father was once a man, twice a child. He was curled up in the bed like a baby.
Oh, boy.
Stuff which was preventable. Had he taken care of himself, it would not have necessarily had to come on him. And so we need to encourage our men, take care of your health. You have one body, you can't go to some store and purchase another body. So Sunday, 3 p.m., the Men and Boys March, Christie Park, 433-6917. Whatever church, denomination, lodge, rasta, whatever you are, as long as you are male, we're inviting you to come out, and we want the women to come on the side of the men and let us know you support us. A rally is immediately after at Christie Park. We're providing water for all the participants, and the first 100 boys, we're going to give them some free ice cream.
Just show up. You don't need to register or anything.
No, sir. All you need to do is just show up, and we'll have you in the line. Bring your band, bring your drums, bring whatever it is, your music, whatever it is to accompany you on the march. Just bring it, 433-6917. Just call Dave Williams.
All right, one more time. Tell people where it's going to begin and the time.
So that's 3 p.m., Christie Park. We go to Ponciana Drive, Blue Hill Road, and on Meadow Street, and back to Christie Park. Don't meet me there. You ought to beat me there.
Dave Williams, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Keep up the great work that you're doing. And I know we're going to be talking soon when it gets closer to International Men's Day.
Yes, sir.
Time is going by so quickly, but great seeing you as always.
Thank you for the partnership, Dwight.
All right. Again, it's the International Men's Day Men and Boys March and Rally this Sunday. Got to be there. All right, we're going to break for news and be back with Morning Blend Business in just a bit. Stay with us.
Don't stop me. Don't stop me. Hey, let me go, let me go, let me go, let me go now. Don't stop me.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
I am sure that you insure your car, your home, and you might take out health insurance. Did you know that your Bahamian dollar deposits are also insured?
Really? How so?
The Bahamas Deposit Insurance Corporation, DIC, provides financial protection with immediate coverage without any additional charges, up to a maximum of $50,000 per depositor.
$50,000?
$50,000? Think I break it.
That's right. Your deposits, whether a joint account, business account, trust, or your personal savings, are all protected by the DIC.
Yeah, boy.
But what if a bank runs into problems, you ask? Rest assured, your deposit and interest are calculated up to the date of closure, and payouts are made promptly, whether you're a local or non-resident.
I like the sound of that. Sign me up.
Just open an account with a bank or credit union that is a member of the deposit insurance, and that's it. You are automatically covered, no extra paperwork, no added cost. The Bahamas Deposit Insurance Corporation. Peace of mind assured, your deposits secured.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and binders, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, September 26th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan and along with Laverne Gardner. And this morning, we're very pleased to have back with us our friends from Easy Car Sales. They've got a big thing happening this weekend, EV City, a homecoming for Generation E members.
Yes, everyone.
Everybody. Thea Farmer is here and she's brought along Nikki Saddleton.
Good
Hello.
morning.
Welcome back to both of you.
Good morning, Bahamas. Good morning, Laverne and Freeport. Good morning. Yes, we're so excited. We finally made it. We finally made it to EV City. You know, we've been working on clearing the lot there at Abundant Life for a long time. And you saw that we parked our inventory now, which is very wide. There's lots of models and lots of price ranges as well, you know. And we built our temporary, sales and service office. It's literally a glammed out container, 2 containers. But they are really great inside. And so just to start, because, Gladstone Road is too small for us now. Not only for the inventory, we don't have enough room for the inventory, but for the team. The Electric Dream team is growing all the time. And we needed more space to support the vehicles, because we take care of our customers. And so we are very happy to announce the opening of EV City on the highway, diagonally across from the mall, and at Abundant
Mall at
Life
Marathon.
Road. Yes, the mall at Marathon, right. So you have to come in through the Solomon service entrance.
Right.
Okay? Because Abundant Life is the entrance there is for construction of our future headquarters.
Okay.
So you have to come in through the service road by Solomon's.
Okay. Excellent. EV City. So this is going to be something special.
Yes. Well, we've invited all of our owners, of which there are many, many hundreds now, I'm glad to report. We've invited all of our EV owners to come to a homecoming, speak to other EV owners, and have a little mix and mingle. We're feeding them a little bit, and we're giving them some lovely lemonade and some swag, the Generation E T-shirts and things. And so we're going to have a good day, but we are also inviting the public, because many times people want to talk directly to an EV owner and ask them questions that maybe they're a little shy to ask, or they think, maybe it's a silly question. There are no silly questions. And it's best to come and speak to our owners.
Right.
As you've seen, we've been doing this promotion where people are giving testimonials. Those are real owners, and those are their real words. We didn't tell them what to say. So we want that to continue, and we want the public to come and speak to our EV owners. So this Saturday, from 11 till 5, we'll be there. So come along and have a look at all of our new vehicles, visit our luxury containers, our temporary offices, and meet the team.
All right. So, and an owner is here with us this morning. Is that right? Nikki
Yes,
Saddleton?
Yes,
How long
correct.
have you been an EV owner now?
I think it was July. I took owner of the Yuan Plus.
Okay.
And yes, life-changing for sure. It's been amazing, and I really am so still every day, this few months later, every time I get in it, it just feels like a dream. It's not just about, I love the fact that I don't have to go to the gas station.
Right.
I now take the scenic route to work, guilt-free, that I'm not wasting gas just to look at the beach on the way to
I
work.
can imagine even sitting in traffic isn't a bad thing
Don't mind
anymore.
it at all. Don't mind it
It
at
changes.
all.
We always
It
say
does.
it's life-changing, and people laugh. And then when they come back, they say, you were right. Because it does change, your routines, your lifestyle. And also, it's much more relaxing to be in an electric car in the traffic. I guess it's
so
quiet.
It's so quiet.
It's smooth. And then you have all the tech that you can be playing with as you're in the parking lot on the road,
Right.
And then you know that you're not wasting lots of money, because, when you put gasoline in a car, I hate to tell you, Bahamas, but more than half of that money you just spent is going up in smoke and heat through the combustion effect in your car.
Wow.
So it's not going to propel your vehicle. It's not pushing your vehicle. It's just going up in smoke, heat, and of course emissions, which we don't have when we're driving electric. So that makes you feel good.
Absolutely. All right. So what led you to do this, Nikki? Why did you decide to go there in July?
I've wanted to since the beginning. I mean, I just love the concept. It's an exciting technology. I'm in marketing. I love anything disruptive to industries. I like to be at the forefront. I test drove the Leaf, I think about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. It was a while. So I always knew my next car would be electric. So it was just time. We were in the market for a new car, and I thought the pricing was reasonable. It was comparable to the type of car we would have bought. The home charger to me is a revelation. I mean, they just came, installed it, was so fast. And I just love the fact that you have complete control over the energy of your vehicle.
Right.
And that you can get up in the morning, unplug it, get in the car, come home at night, plug it in. And I literally plug it in twice a week, if that. So it doesn't even register on the electricity bill.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about
so
that.
Amazed.
Have you noticed any? Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, really haven't noticed a big increase at all.
It's not expensive. I've mentioned this before, that we know how much it costs to fill up or fully charge your electric vehicle, because the battery has a certain size and it requires so many kilowatts to charge it. So, and we also know that it takes about 5 kilowatts to go the same distance as a gallon of gas.
Right.
And 5 kilowatts today can be anything between $1.50, $1.80, depending on what your rate is. But the gas is $5.50 going on whatever is going on now with the increase. And electricity is promised to go down as well, right?
Right.
Yes, we have faith. We have faith in that happening.
Somebody has to have faith.
No,
Yeah.
well, yeah, we have to have
Yeah,
faith.
yeah.
We want it to succeed, right?
Yeah.
We want
absolutely.
it to succeed for all of us. And then people like me charge from solar. So you can't do that with a gas car or a hybrid or anything else. So it gives you a lot more options, you know. I'm just watching the poor Americans queuing up to get gas because of this storm coming, Helene. And I'm thinking, you know, the last time we had a hurricane, I plugged in my car before. I had a battery going, you know, for couple weeks after the hurricane. I never had to go through that stress.
But you can also use it to charge things.
Right. So that's the other thing is that
like
you
a
have
battery.
a battery. So you can actually use that to run a fan or a fridge or whatever. So on Saturday, in fact, we're going to be running a couple of the vendors because we have street food and stuff.
okay.
They're going to be running off the Geely truck.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because we don't have a lot of electricity in this new location yet, right? And so a couple of the vendors are going to be running plugged into
How long
our
can
Geely
you
truck.
do that for? Like how?
Well, of course, depending on what you're running, right? So if the battery has something like 50 or 60 kilowatts, so you could run quite a few things for a while. And in fact, in some European countries, like in Portugal, they're talking about using the electric car fleet to plug in and furnish electricity to the grid at certain times of need.
Right.
Yeah, so it can just become like a big battery storage situation.
Wow.
I'm not very familiar with how they're going to do it, but I know that the Geely truck, when you're going to work and you need to plug in the drill or you need to plug in, you can just do
That's
it in the
excellent.
back of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Do you find, Nikki, that people are asking you questions, like coming to you to get information?
Yeah, for sure. It's weird. I think we're not quite at the tipping point yet. I think we're getting there, though. I feel like it's really ramping up in terms of people. I think have gone from really understanding what it is to when can they get that.
Yeah.
But I get a lot of compliments just on the aesthetics because they're beautiful cars. And the brand's wonderful and everything about it's, you know, people really compliment all the time, but they are curious about just the general day-to-day, like the plugging in. I think that's an area maybe where people are still not sure how it will work for them. But the gas savings alone is worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, as Nikki said, that is a concern for a lot of people living in apartments. They don't have access to chargers. What do you say to the folks who are really interested, but they can't get their landlord to do it, or there's just no possibility in a multiplex?
Well, yes. So we realize that the infrastructure is not in place in the Bahamas, and it really is not something I can do because I can't be selling electricity by law. So I can't be charging, putting chargers all over town. And
would that count as you selling electricity?
It seems so.
What?
But there is no clarity. There's no clarity. I'm always on the edge there, breaking ground, so there is no clarity on the matter. However, for homes and apartments and condos, as opposed to public charging. So this is why we always include a home charger with our cars.
Yeah.
So then you don't have to worry about whether there's chargers out there or not. The ones that are out there have been donated, and the businesses are contributing the cost of electricity to give their customers a treat, basically.
That's very kind of them.
Very kind of them. And we have like 18 of them out on the streets. And I notice all the time people are installing additional chargers, which is great. But there has to eventually be a public charging infrastructure. And that's really not my job. But what is my job is to facilitate it for people who buy the cars. So they get a charger, which Nikki mentioned we install in your house. And now we have solutions for apartments and condos and such, so that we are installing right now in a major condominium a charger which 4 people are going to share, because 4 of the people who live in this condominium have electric vehicles, and they all have an RFID card. So they turn the machine on and off, and the amount of electricity that they used is recorded, and the homeowners association then bills them for it.
Oh, wow.
I have it.
That's pretty
I have
cool.
the answer.
You've done this already?
Yes.
Okay.
It's actually the first one is being installed now, but we have tested it already in other circumstances.
Okay.
So that is going to become a non-issue because, in fact, the homeowners association or the landlord could bill for having that facility, right, to the owners. So they could pay a monthly fee to have that facility. They don't have to buy the charger or anything. They pay a monthly fee, and then they pay for their usage of electricity.
That's wonderful. What do they have to do? Come up with a schedule for charging, or how will they?
Well, people work it out. First of all, you're only charging maybe once a week.
Right.
So it's not like there's a huge competition that people are fighting. People are fighting for the chargers out on the road because they have cars and they don't have a charger, which they could also get from me and install in their house anytime that they want. Even if it's a car that they didn't buy from me, it's fine. The charger is the charger is the charger. But we have these solutions for apartments and condos now, and also for fleets, because more and more businesses are adopting electric fleets. So we have fast charging for them. So they can charge their vehicles very quickly and get them back on the road again.
Yeah.
So we have all those solutions now, but we'd had to do a lot of homework, a lot of research, a lot of testing, a lot of investing as per usual, right? So we have that, and that will shortly be announced as well.
Okay, all right. So if you're on a family island, like Laverne on Grand Bahama, what do you send charges? Can you ask people, and they can ask you and send? You can send. You do.
And we can, we do all of that. We send the chargers. We actually send people there now to support our vehicles, and we have trained 2 people now in Freeport to service the BYDs.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
local people.
excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I don't want to have to send my people. They're busy over here.
Right.
And plus,
right.
how is it going to expand to all the islands? So we've been training people. We trained somebody in Eleuthera as well. We train people for free to go and learn how to service these vehicles and work, basic, starting with the basic. And if it gets complicated, then we can always send somebody. Yeah. And in Freeport, they do. The government has installed some charging stations in Freeport, from what I understand.
Yeah, which government?
Really?
This is
The current administration.
Oh, okay, all right. Just be
I'll have to check into
right.
that.
Okay, Laverne, look that up.
First I'm hearing of it. Yeah, for sure.
Good stuff. Caller, we'll get to you in a second. So, but what do you know about the public charging? Is there a plan?
I don't know. No, I don't. I mean, there has to be a plan. I mean, you can't be an administration dealing with transportation and not have a plan. So there have been suggestions made and proposals made by different international entities as well, and recommendations. So I trust that they will proceed with that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. We're talking with Pia Farmer and Nikki Saddleton about EV City and a big event this weekend. We'll get back to that in a bit. But let's take this call, and we've got a couple other issues we want to talk to you about, Pia. Let's take this call. Caller, you're on the air.
Well, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Oh, hello, Graham.
And to Miss Farmer, Graham Weatherford. Listen, we do have a plan. We have a plan for every parking lot and every business establishment to have solar panels put on them, paid for with the carbon credits, so that people can plug in their electric cars and not have to use fossil fuel at Clifton Pier. We said this years ago, but I can assure you, if I have any say in it at any point, you won't have to worry. Bahamians will be driving completely free and completely carbon neutral.
Who's the
because
we?
They won't have to plug into fossil fuels.
Who's the we who has the plan?
Well, stay tuned, Dwight. It'll be revealed. But I've been driving an electric car now for years.
I know. You have your Leaf still?
And I plug it into the sun.
Yeah,
and
me
I have
too.
my electric Vespa scooter that I plug into the sun. So I don't have to buy gas, and I don't have to pay electricity and burn fossil fuels at Clifton Pier to do so.
Right.
See,
So that's the ideal. I agree. The ideal is solar on your roof, electric vehicle in your driveway, maybe a little battery situation going on that are getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper all the time to
And
store
we've been
your
around
energy.
the world. We've been around the world at Copenhagen and all of the COPs, but we've not negotiated the solar via the carbon credits for free for our people. Can you imagine a country, Dwight, where our light bill is almost nothing? We're driving electric cars that are charged by the sun. And I could go on, but I'm going to be brief today. This is stuff that was said many years ago by myself. But you know what? It's going to come to fruition because
Yes.
it seems like nobody here wants to do it because of fossil fuel and the money made from it. You guys have a good show.
All right, Graham.
Thanks a lot.
That is the ideal. So that is why electric mobility is galloping through the world.
Yeah.
Because there are many more options to charge it, to run it, and much less expensive. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to empower people to stop spending so much money on gas and maintenance of combustion engine vehicles that are hurting us.
Yeah.
So, it's coming. We can't let the perfect get in the way of the possible, as always my motto.
Wow.
And even if you do charge your vehicle from the grid, it is 4 times more efficient than putting gasoline in a combustion engine.
Wow.
So it is taking better care of our resources while we still transition more and more away from fossil fuels into renewables.
Let's take another call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? Hi, good morning, caller.
How you doing?
Hi, yes, you're on.
Can you? Yes, Alan Johnson. Yeah, that's Graham Rutherford, the candidate for the coalition of independence. Don't because me say that word.
You'll get it. Practice will make perfect.
Okay, but just let me say that for Laverne, the charges are at the government office, at the office of the Prime Minister. Some people within urban renewal drives to e-cars from easy cars and some other government ministries. But you can see the little smaller ones. I think it's the Dolphin or something.
Right. Yeah, I think they have the Dolphin. They might have the Pro.
Yeah, there's about I've seen at least a dozen of them because I started
I've
making
seen them, but I
attention
didn't know that there was. I've seen the cars, but I didn't know, that they actually installed chargers for them.
Yeah, in the evening times,
for that.
In the evening times, you can see them all parked in the back of the office of the Prime Minister. But just let me say on the whole concept of that she spoke about concerning vehicle to the grid, this is something that I'm in negotiations with, and Graham, this is the Free National Movement, in negotiations, and at least not negotiations, speaking to the power company now, and it's a concept called V2, the letter number 2, the number 2G, and V2H and V2L. And that's EV to the grid for grid stabilization.
Right.
And then you have EV to the home for backup power
Right.
and energy, so you could back up your home. And then E2L to load portable emergency power applications,
Right.
such as hurricanes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we are looking at it, exactly how it can be done, because Freeport become an ideal situation to do it. So you may have a home, and a lot of people may not understand. I think you have 2 of your cars. I already verified that actually is already come equipped to do these things. I don't remember the exact model. I think
Yes,
or something.
more and more
Right.
now. Like they have
Right.
some
But just-
cars that you can the BYD tells us you can go outside and play movies outside and plug it into your car and whatever,
Yeah, But just let me just say this: if you look at the 82 kilowatt hours that's stored in the ATOs or whatever, Graham, Dwight, if you, like me, that use less than 40 kilowatt hours per day, generally speaking, you could run your house for 2 days on your car.
It's
And so-
amazing, isn't it?
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
and so
love
I'm just
it.
simply saying this, the information is there. We have to have some real conversation concerning energy security and utilizing tools for the 21st century. And Graham and COI, guess what? The Free National Movement and the next administration will do all these things.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
I
there
look
you go.
forward to it all.
Well,
I like it.
lots of we's are having conversations, but the we that we need to hear from, not quite hearing that one, right? Yet. But hey. All right, so I've got to ask you about this. We saw your ads in the paper about the gray market vehicles. What's happening with that? And we've seen a lot of things developing.
Yeah, no, it was really a notice, which was a public notice so that people know. That was the motivation. And the reason is that some people are buying Chinese domestic vehicles. Okay, in China they make two kinds of cars: the cars that they sell in China for the Chinese people, and the cars that they build for export. They're different because for export you have to have certain regulations, standards, and rules, so that in Norway, for example, which probably is regulated to the hilt, that car is acceptable.
Right.
In China, it's a little bit, more relaxed, let's say. The material that the vehicle is made out of, BYD itself has told us can be different for a domestic vehicle and for export vehicle.
Wow.
Safety features. And of course, a domestic Chinese vehicle is made with a Mandarin operating system. See, now these cars, I'm talking about BYD. I don't really know much about any other brands, right? Other than my brands, BYD, Geely, and Jack. They have a platform, and that platform has the battery, all the intelligence, all the operating system, and then on that they build different chassis, different models.
Right.
And so the original platform is for the Chinese domestic vehicle in Mandarin. These vehicles have been sold by Chinese dealers to somebody who received all the discounts and incentives and all of that given to people in China to adopt electric vehicles. You have to pay to actually have a gas car in China.
Wow.
But you get paid to buy an electric car in China because they're trying to, they now sold more than 50% of the cars sold last month were electric in China. Talking about a tipping point. So these vehicles are intended for the domestic market, but then they are exported to somewhere around the world. And here in the Bahamas, some people are buying those vehicles from a middleman. Okay. When that vehicle comes here, it is not backed by warranty. The minute that car leaves China, there is no warranty on that vehicle.
Right.
And that is not something I dictate, that I'm saying, I'm not going to offer a warranty. I'm not allowed, because it's a different model from what my people have been trained to do. My diagnostic tools are designed to evaluate. The parts may be different, and I certainly can't do software updates on the cars because I don't speak Mandarin.
Right.
Okay? So what we did is we put an announcement out there that please be aware, if you buy what we call a second-hand car, because it can't be a new BYD, right? I'm the exclusive distributor for BYD in the Bahamas.
For new vehicles.
I appoint dealers in the Bahamas. So it's against the law to say that these are new cars. I'm the only one allowed to sell a new car. And secondly, people may not be aware it is a Chinese domestic vehicle as opposed to an international for export vehicle.
Even if it looks like
Oh,
yours.
yeah, it'll just have the name in Chinese instead and things like that. So from the outside, aesthetically, it may look the same, or it may not. I don't really know. I haven't seen all of them yet, or whatever. But I just wanted people to know. Look, if you buy one of these vehicles, please be aware I cannot offer warranty support. Okay, I cannot deal with your battery or anything like that. That's all it was intended to do, is to make people aware that these are second-hand cars and they're not for export, and I can't offer warranty.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, so that's what's going on. And the problem is that I'm a bit conflicted because I've always wanted everyone to drive electric, right? That's what I want. I want everybody to drive electric. So the more people that buy an electric car, the more people will drive an electric car, the more people will want an electric car, and it's good for everybody. I just want you to know that I'm the only one who can offer warranty on a BYD, Jack, or Geely vehicle. Enjoy, but please don't blame me, and don't come to me to try and fix a warranty problem in your car.
Well, that's the other thing about the car, was it comes with an 8-year warranty.
Well, exactly. I can
That's
offer
amazing.
From Easy Car Sales, yours.
manufacturers and mine as well.
Okay.
So, but it's a BYD gives an 8-year warranty on all their vehicles. And, it's very important to know that, people think that being a car dealer is like, oh, these people, I don't know. I have to train people. I have to bring in the parts. I have parts sorry, for my vehicles. I don't have parts for secondhand car vehicles, okay? Secondhand vehicles. They'll have to be ordered. And your car may or may not function during that time. I don't know. We do a lot of work to bring this brand to the Bahamas, to bring quality vehicles that work, to have expert knowledge on how to maintain them. We've been doing it for 8 years. We have a lot of experience. We have the diagnostic tools. So all of that is what you are getting when you come to Easy Car Sales. When you buy a second-hand Chinese vehicle, I don't know who's going to help you if things go wrong. Okay, I don't know.
Are you worried that this might hurt the brand's reputations?
Very
if people
much
have
I'm
a bad
worried.
experience with one of these used cars and think this is how the brand
Well,
is?
very much I'm worried because I've worked very hard for 8 years to bring only quality, good vehicles with great support to this country. And it's not easy. People think, oh, you know, they're just doing that. You know how much work that is? And I'm happy to do it because I'm passionate about it. But I don't want people to think, oh, BYD is not a good brand because certain vehicles are not functioning well when they come here. These vehicles need an annual checkup with diagnostic tools. You know, they have complicated computer systems. So even though they're very reliable and they're simple in many ways because there's fewer parts, it still requires expert maintenance. Now, you may be told that you're going to get expert maintenance, and that's, well, we'll see if that happens. But you're not going to get warranty. So if anybody tells you you're getting it, it's not correct. And BYD has stated that very clearly, that any vehicle that is sold, BYD brand that is sold here, other than by its exclusive distributor, which is Easy Car Sales, is not covered by warranty. Full stop, the end, you know. So this is where we are. And those are coming in because, you know, not everybody can afford a new car. I understand that. You just have to be aware of what the situation is. Because it's not like a gas car that anybody can work on. Okay? An electric vehicle is very specialized. You need the diagnostic tools. You need the expertise to do it. So it's a conundrum.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we started with the Nissan Leaf, for example, and we had the diagnostic tools for the Nissan Leaf, but it was a second-hand car. It was never a new car because there's a Nissan distributor here. I can't go and sell new Honda vehicles, you know what I mean, or somebody else. So these are second-hand cars, number A, and number B, no warranty. I will help you when I can, obviously, but because I want to keep the name, you know, the reputation of the BYD brand. So I have to do that as much as I can.
Wow.
But there are limits to what I can do.
My goodness. Interesting times. All right, so let's remind folks about what's going to be happening at your Abundant Life Road location, EV City.
Yeah, don't you like the name?
I love it.
EV City, because that's your source for every electric vehicle.
Well, I'm going to be there because you get a free, if you have an EV,
Yes.
you get a free guava duff.
Yes.
From the new Duff.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And Amplify are going to give you a free sea moss lemonade.
Oh, my goodness.
And I saw there's a BNT.
Yes, the Bahamas
membership.
National Trust. You know, we've always partnered with the BNT. They do such amazing work. And so we decided all of our EV owners who come on Saturday will get a free personal or family membership to the BNT. So it's mutually three-way beneficial, you know, to
This is a year-long membership?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? We have to support each other. You know, we're all working towards the same goals, which is our beautiful planet. So we have lots of things going on, and we have some special pricing too for those who don't yet have an EV. And you can get to, like I said, meet other owners. So it's like a homecoming. It's an introduction to our new home. We want you to remember where EV City is on the highway at the corner of Abundant Life Road. And just come in through the Solomon's entrance.
Okay.
And we're going to have, you know, DJ and there'll be also giveaways. And yeah, it's exciting.
Wow. What time does it start?
11. 11 till 5.
Okay.
On Saturday, you'll see all the tents and all the things happening. And come by and have a look at our lovely vehicles. You know, they start at $30K now, all right? And a lovely four-door, what we call the Dolphin Mini. It's very cute. It's bigger than a Fit, let's say. And that comes with an 8-year warranty.
Wow.
And you're saving $4 a gallon the minute you start driving it. So it's an investment in your future.
All right, so people are asking all these wonderful things. Do you have to be an owner of one of your brands, or can it be any electric vehicle?
You are Generation E, okay? We are open to anyone who owns an electric vehicle. You know, we started this promotion about Generation E because we talked about whether you're baby boomer, like some of us with gray hair, Generation X, Y, or Z. We can all be Generation E. And you don't have to even be driving an electric car to be Generation E. You just have to want to drive an electric car, but care for our environment, care about the economics, care about the future of our planet, and enjoy a better way of driving. So no, we want to welcome all EV drivers. Just come. Okay, I used to drive a Leaf, all right? I loved my Leaf in the day. Of course, I love my BYD now. Well, actually, I drive a BYD and then I have a Jack as well. Yeah,
I feel inspired. I see the logo, Build Your Dreams.
Yeah.
It gives me a little boost every morning.
Yeah. You know, I met the chairman of BYD in Mexico. I went to a conference and we all had to make a presentation. And number one, I was the only woman. Number two, everybody else was, you know, talking about figures and amounts and numbers and whatever, which I don't really care about. And I spoke about the earth and the Bahamas and how beautiful it is and how we're trying to keep our air clean and we want to keep the temperature down and all of that. And the chairman stood up at the end and says, it's not all about money. It's also about our earth. Very good, Bahamas. Very good.
Oh, wow. You made an impression.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was great. So BYD is very committed to the environmental message.
I saw they saved in CO2 emissions equivalent to Ecuador in terms of a forest.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
What that would produce.
Yeah, they
in
measure, right?
offsetting. Yeah.
So if you've seen some of our ads now, we not only say what the price is and what the savings are over time because of fuel and maintenance service, we also say how much CO2 emissions you are reducing by driving that car.
Excellent.
So on average is about 4.5 to 5 metric tons of CO2 per car per year. Per car per year.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know what a metric ton looks like, but it sounds like a lot. and BYD keeps track of it. Maybe, like you said, Nikki, we should try and work out how much CO2 we have reduced by introducing these vehicles.
No, absolutely. We need to quantify that. But I was in traffic the other day and his truck, the black smoke, straight through the window.
I get so mad now.
And we just have to move away from that.
Yeah. And we were talking about this earlier in the week with the Prime Minister all over the world telling people about how much needs to be done, but we need to practice what we preach here.
Right. And I think that, you know, the government has adopted some electric vehicles. Of course, in my opinion, it's never enough, but they're working at it. And, you know, you have to realize that transportation is the fourth highest emitter of harmful gases and CO2 and so forth in the world. It's number 3 in the United States.
Wow.
So the minute that you start transitioning vehicles, you're reducing your CO2 right away. So we have stated nationally determined goals, NDGs or whatever they're called, to the UN. We have said the Bahamas will reduce CO2 emissions by 30% by 2030. You can go there, look it up, all the things that we have committed to. The fastest way to do it right now, within the possible, is to adopt more electric vehicles. Changing our energy mix and the grid and all of that, that's also very important because that's one of the top emitters. But transportation is a quick, like how we say, low-hanging fruit, you know? So we would like to encourage businesses, individuals, and the government to adopt more electric vehicles so that we can hit that target.
Yeah. Can you imagine if we got rid of all these diesel spewing jitneys.
But even the
What a difference that
noise
would make.
pollution would make a big difference.
Oh,
It would
the
make a huge
noise.
difference.
Yeah. Yes, and there is an effort going on with the Ministry of Transport to look at electric buses. I know that they're working on that because that would be important because you can carry many more people in a bus than in an individual car. You know, we have to, not everybody can have a car, and in other countries we go and ride a bus. And it's quite normal. And an electric bus will have Wi-Fi, it'll be quiet, it'll be comfortable, it'll be dignified for us Bahamians to be on. Why don't we deserve that? We deserve that.
Absolutely.
Right? And get more cars off the road. So it's good for everybody. It's not one way or another. It's an effort in many different directions.
Yeah. I know you're going to be back to keep us posted on how EV City is going and the plans for the future. But Saturday sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun again.
Yes.
11 o'clock to 5.
Yes. On the highway at the corner of Abundant Life, you should see the tents and everything, but come in through the Solomon's Service Road and come and join us, meet like-minded people, join our Generation E. It's for everyone because everyone is welcome.
Excellent. Nikki Saddleton, thank you for being here.
My pleasure,
Appreciate
as
it.
always. Thank you so much.
And Pia Farmer, keep up the great work that you're doing at Easy Car Sales.
Thank you very much, and thanks for your support, and have a fantastic day, Bahamas, and let's see you at EV City on Saturday.
Sounds like a plan. We're going to take a break and then be back to wrap things up on Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Do you know someone who is a champion for peace, a person who embodies and encourages cooperation, mutual respect, and justice, and creates a safe environment in which everyone can flourish? Well, guess what? You have from now until September 30th to visit our website, characterdaybahamas.org, and nominate that special person for a chance to be honored as a hidden hero.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
When you jump in your Japanese import and you turn the radio on, all you hear is... For the month of September, the Hit Spot will install a band extender in your Japanese import for the discounted rate of only $79.99, VAT included. Get your band expander installed today at the Hit Spot and listen to
Star 106.5.
Plus, get fresh news and smart talk on
Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The Bahamas National Statistical Institute, the BNSI, latest consumer price index shows that for the first time since the COVID pandemic sent inflation soaring, the inflation rate for the monitored month of July 2024 was lower than the same time the previous year. The CPI shows data going back to July 2021. The most recent CPI for July reveals that the percentage change between July 2023 and July 2024 was negative 0.5%. On a month-to-month basis, the CPI decreased between June 2024 and July 2024. SuperValue President Deborah Simonet says that there needs to be support for local food producers and that it's more important now in light of an impending U.S. dock workers strike slated to occur on October 1st. Which is expected to disrupt shipping at U.S. East Coast and Gulf Coast ports. Simonet telling Guardian Business that SuperValue has not fully considered the effect of the strike on their business, and she doesn't know the extent that it will affect the Bahamas. But SuperValue, quote, usually tries to keep enough on hand to hold us in the event that there is an issue like that. You can read more about that in today's Guardian Business section. And the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board has launched a new brand marketing campaign that heavily features Bahamian artists and concepts, which markets Nassau and Paradise Island as one destination across two destinations. The campaign, released Monday, former Director General of the Ministry of Tourism, Joy Jibrillou, is the first Bahamian at the helm of the NPIPB. She told the media recently that a Bahamian working with the Bahamian team, that as a Bahamian, they see the new marketing campaign differently than the ones that have been created in the past. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Wednesday, your market movers. Commonwealth Bank moving 10,000 shares, closing up 1 cent to $5.03. Consolidated Water down 14 cents, closing at $4.93. Emira Incorporated up 13 cents, closing at $9.67. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,961, closing unchanged. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Laverne Gardner, thank you so much for being here.
Always a pleasure.
Hope you feel better.
Thank you.
We got a lot of interesting text messages about the police force. I'm going to save some of these and we'll get through these another day. But boy, oh boy, we're in a bad place. And the force, we need to have, as I said earlier, a come together moment to figure out how we're going to do this. This is not going to be helpful for the future if we have this adversarial attitude with our police. And again, I'm not discounting anybody's experiences, but we've got to do something, and soon. Hey, I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.